Peace, peace, fam. This one is important. All right, this one is very, very important, especially for my brothers out there. It can be for females too, right? But this is speaking mostly to men. All right, and it's about the Jezebel spirit. All right. Notice I say spirit. I don't say woman. I don't say female. I don't say anything along those lines. I'm not speaking to a specific person, people. I'm not speaking to a singularity. All right. This is a spirit that roams. This is a spirit that can affect both men and women, but more specifically for this video, I'm talking to men. All right. Because in most situations, dealing with a Jezebel spirit in any form or fashion, consistently, consecutively, for long periods of time, definitely going to have a negative impact on your life, right? So, what am I talking about when I say a Jezebel spirit? A Jezebel spirit is someone who has demonic influence, narcissistic behaviors, narcissistic personality, and I'm talking about a covert narcissist, not somebody who's outwardly portraying narcissism, but has their forms of manipulation, has their forms of, uh, control that may not be apparent. All right, and a man may or may not know when they're being controlled by this type of spirit. Um, but what does that necessarily look like, right? You're dealing with a person who may be sexually appealing and sexually attractive. Like I know for me in the past, I would attract or I would be engaged with certain women or certain females who had this trait, and I would be attracted to them. So I know a big saying of mine is okay, I'm not attracted. A woman doesn't have to be fine or bad or attractive, but she has to have sex appeal, all right, or she has to be sexually appealing. Most of the times, if you're dealing with a female in that sense, all right, if she has a certain form of just attraction or some type of seductive look or seductive aura to her, all right, you're dealing with a Jezebel spirit, all right, and dealing with this type of person, dealing with this type of spirit, it's gonna completely derail your life, completely derail your calling, and just completely take away the gifts, anointing, and purpose that God has for you, especially as being a chosen one. And that's the mission. That's the goal. That's it. It really isn't anything outside of that. It's really to take you away from God's purpose, take you away from God's calling, and to take away your anointings and your gifts that can help other people join God's kingdom or help other people advance and progress along their journey. Um, so, what these things probably would do to a man, or what they have done to men, I give you an example like Caesar, right? Julius Caesar, a great ruler, leader of Rome, traveled to Egypt, right? Fell for Cleopatra, who, from my sense of things, was a Jezebel spirit operating in the flesh. All right, and if you study history, look at how bad Rome got during that time period. Look what Julius Caesar was doing. I mean, he completely gave up his conquest, his leadership, his rulership, almost gave up Rome completely to just kind of hang out, chill, and then just be under this woman or under this female, to the point where Rome, at a certain point, lost track of time. They weren't able to keep up with the years and the calendar date. So still to this day, because of that missed time period in the Roman Empire, we still don't have an accurate date to where we actually are. Because during that time period, Caesar wasn't ruling correctly. Rome went down. All right, Rome started falling apart, and it wasn't till he finally snapped out of it, and like, hey, like what's going on here? I need to get back. I need to take care and take ownership and do the things that I'm supposed to be doing. Be a leader to Rome. Still being in connected with this female, which I believe actually led to his downfall and his assassination. Because after his assassination, she didn't mourn him. She didn't, want to avenge him or anything like that. She went to his next man in command, which is Mark Antony, and from there, they ruled together for a short period of time and tried to take control of the Roman Empire, right? So these type of females are after power. These type of females usually don't have morals, have an extremely hard time with authority, and listening to their man, right? Listening to their fathers. Like if you're dealing with a female that doesn't have a good relationship with her father, doesn't listen to her father, doesn't take any type of constructive criticism, doesn't have any morals, is extremely negative, is extremely combative. Usually you're dealing with a Jezebel spirit, and usually when the enemy sends these type of people your way, they will mirror to a certain extent your needs or your wants, your desires, what you seek in a woman, but at the same time, their fruit doesn't portray where you're trying to go or what type of woman you should be dealing with. For example, she may be kind, she may seem courteous, she may be interested in some things that you have going on. She may be able to please you in the bedroom or different things like this, but she may not have a place to stay, right? She may be homeless. She may not have a job or may not have a form of income that is sustaining her. So even though she's portraying these traits, usually the enemy uses those kind of things to kind of lure you in or to kind of get you to engage with these people. And once you engage with them, you're dealing with chaotic energy. All right, you're falling away from your purpose. You're losing yourself in this experience. So these type of females are very, very dangerous. All right, because it doesn't seem like that's what's happening. So if you're not protected, if you're not reading the word, if you're not having a connection and a relationship with God, you are going to be susceptible to these type of women, which is going to completely take you off course from where you should be. Now, there is reason for everything. There is a lesson in every experience, so we have to take those lessons and those experiences along the way. But dealing with these type of females, dealing with these type of energies are dangerous. And keep in mind, you may leave a female Jezebel spirit or a narcissistic female, and then another one comes into your life soon after that, with similar traits or change a couple of things to kind of keep you engaged so you don't catch on as quickly. But keep in mind, it's the same type of spirit. All right, it's the same type of energy coming towards you. Mind you, this is not a person. The spirit will follow you until you learn your lesson. So again, I'm a very spiritual person. I always want to look at things from a spiritual perspective and not merely physical. Because if you're looking at things from a physical perspective, you're lost. All right, you're lost. If you're looking at things physically, you're lost. You're not gonna be adept to what's really going on and what's happening. You're not looking at things from the bigger picture. You have a calling. Alright? When you have a calling, when you have an anointing, when you're chosen, there's things that you have to do to elevate God's kingdom. The enemy is going to attack you in order to prevent you from doing what you're called to do. And they will do that by any means necessary. They're going to keep attacking you. They're going to keep sending these types of females, these type of people in your direction until you learn your lesson. So let me know in the comments below if you've experienced this. All right, if you're experiencing this right now. All right, type strength in the comments below if you're gonna have the strength and the fortitude to avoid these kind of spirits. All right, in the future, if you're gonna have the strength to move out of relationships or a relationship that you're dealing with right now when you're dealing with the Jezebel spirit, because again, these types of spirits are dangerous. Alright, they don't seem like it, but they will completely derail you from your path and your purpose. If you haven't already, please like, share, or even subscribe. Until the next time, peace.